Shine Nation team call. It is Tuesday, April 28th. Yeah, or the 11th billionth day of 2020, as I like to refer to it.
Basically, it's what it feels like. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, where this concept I came with, like with the call today, where I put like consume less, create more, is that I think that right now, especially in the season we're in and the way that the world is right now, it's hard to not get caught up scrolling because there's time. There's so much time in our hands, even though there's a million things calling for our attention. I think we're all maybe experiencing overwhelm, and it's quite mindless to be able to scroll Instagram or TikTok or a Facebook or whatever it might be. It's mindless, it's easy, and it's a escape from what we're dealing with, right? But for us and our role as coaches, doing that really isn't serving us, because more than anything, like I don't know about you guys, but my phone will tell me how many hours of screen time I have in my week. And, since this has happened, it's gone up huge. Hey, cutie. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Are you?
How am I? I'm good.
Hi, Isla.
Hi, Isla. It's really nice to meet you. I'm
Hello. Kelsey. Hi.
Hi, Creat and Kelsey.
Oh. She's like, I'm on the team call. Sloan usually likes to join in too. Don't even worry. They think it's so cute. What was I saying? Oh yeah, just that. Where did I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. I was talking about.
So your phone tells you how many hours.
Yes. Oh yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Mine has gone up so much, and not for good reasons. Like, I know it's not like I'm doing more productive things. No, I'm wasting more time. And I'm also like staying up later, which isn't conductive to my life either. So there's more hours there. But when I was looking at that, I'm like, you know what? What's the top coach in Beachbody doing right now? Like, what's Melanie Mitro? What's Ashley Mulstad, who I absolutely love. I adore Ashley Mulstad. I'm like, what are they up to right now? They're creating content for their followers. They're offering free value for their people. They're showing up every day, which I think we are. Like, I'm not saying we're not doing that, but I bet they're not sitting and scrolling Instagram for 4 hours. I'm sure. Like, because they don't have the time to do that. Like, they are focusing on how to be productive, or even take away from being a Beachbody coach. What about, like, so when I follow the Birds Papaya, I'm like, she's not sitting scrolling everybody else's Instagram. She's creating podcasts, and she's, doing, well, she just joined TikTok. So she's making TikToks, but her TikToks speak to her audience, to her niche rather. And I'm like, that's what we need to be doing. Like, that's what we need to be raising the bar as, because scrolling Instagram isn't going to change our lives. That's just the hard truth of the matter. Weird, right? I know. It's crazy.
Totally.
It's crazy on she sure looks like you when she's smiling there.
Winning.
So sweet.
You don't have the book.
I was going to ask of you guys, like, what do you feel like is currently occupying most of your time when it comes to when you feel like you're working? And it's okay to use air quotes. Like, what do you feel is using up your time right now?
I think. Go ahead, Kelsey.
No, I'm not sure. I'm thinking.
You're talking. I think I just get overwhelmed. Like, I recently printed off like the vital behaviors checklist. And so I'm like, okay, like this is where I need to start. And, or like trying to like find content to post to even get my, like on Instagram, to even get out there, you know what I mean? To even get on people's timelines and stuff. So I have been working on that. And then just like trying to get inspiration, like to sort of see what works for other people. I guess that's where I've been spending my time, like maybe more like research, I guess. And I think the personal development has helped. Like, I finished the book, The 5-Second Rule, and I've been using it quite a bit actually.
Awesome.
So yeah, and then I've been working through the 2B mindset as well as my personal development since that book has been done. I'm just wanting to get that knowledge down. So yeah, I guess more, that's what I've been putting my energy into lately. Yeah, I guess that's it.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Kels?
Yeah. I would say for me, just with the way work is right now and stuff, it's by the time I get home sometimes, which is normally when I tend to do more of the coach stuff is after work, rather than during the day. I like to just sit and scroll for a little bit because it does give my mind a break, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because I just, at work, I'm so just like go, go, go. And so it's nice to just sit. But then, like you said, you get carried away doing that, I think, for too long because things lead to another thing and leads to another thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, I just need to figure that out better.
Totally understand.
And I think with me too, like I just need to carve out my more time. Like I have so many projects on the go right now, like renovating the kitchen and like all this painting and yard work. I need to carve out some time where I'm specifically like where I'm doing, where I'm working, it's my work, where I am working. And so like my home tomorrow, and I kind of want to set a schedule with him where it's like, okay, I'm going to come into our room. I'm alone for, half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever I can get. And just like focus on those vital behaviors, focus on writing out my thoughts and creating a post. Like I have good ideas for posts, like about, momentum and how like in my journey, how like getting started was my biggest challenge because it hurts. Like when you haven't worked for a long time, you get sore and it's hard and you're sweaty and like, all these things. And so, but then once that first workout's over and then the second workout's over and then the third, and then it gets easier and then you're starting to see results. And then now like my momentum is going, like I don't, like I can really push myself in the workouts now to do like what they're doing. Like I hardly modify anymore, and just like how far I've come, or even like chaturangas and stuff, like how I can actually do that now. And so, I kind of wanted to create about momentum and how like the hardest thing is starting, but it won't always be hard like that, just to kind of encourage people. And so I don't know, that's, I just
So
need
why haven't you done that post?
I guess I just haven't, like, I have all these ideas, but I haven't had time to like sit down and like write them out, or sit down and, without being interrupted or having other things I want to finish before my husband comes home. Like I need to, I think the biggest thing that I will do that will help me in my business is to like to set aside some time to work.
I can't agree enough. In fact, that's one of the first things I usually teach. So I'm not sure where that got missed, but is to set work hours. Like you need to have it we need to have it. I'm not saying you, we need to have it on our calendars. This is when I work. And I told Brad that right when I started. I said, you know what? Pretend I'm walking out the door for a shift, because that's what I'm doing. Like this is my job now. And it's not going to serve me if I don't treat it like a job. Like, if we treat it like a hobby, it will pay like a hobby. And if we treat it like a job, it'll pay us like a job. And it's okay that either one of those is totally fine. But like it doesn't really matter how many hours we have available. It really doesn't. Because in theory, I could be in this office working for 5 hours a day if I really wanted to. I could be. Like I could release some of my control issues and give Brad the kids to do the schoolwork or whatever. I could. I choose not to, but I don't think that I would be more successful or more productive in those 5 hours of free time in here than I would be in a focused hour of saying, I need to do this. Like you were saying, the vital behaviors, like I need to do this, 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 and this. I'm done work for the day. And that's incredibly freeing. Like once you have your hours and you start doing those things and you're able to say, here's my phone, I'm putting it down. I don't need anything else to do with it right now because I'm not in my business hours. Like it's very freeing. And then this doesn't feel like a monotonous scroll. It doesn't feel like you're on your phone all the time or busy with it all the time, because you've done what you need to do and you're free now, right? It's actually really incredible. Like I'm with you. It's been so all over the place with trying to have the kids using my computer and doing their schoolwork and whatever, that my focus has been crap. Like I know what I need to do. But I've also been feeling like really emotionally like weighted down, just because I miss people immensely. And like there's so much to take into account, but at the same time, I know I'm called to do more than I'm doing. I know that I have a greater calling and a greater purpose than what I'm living into right now. And I'm not okay with me not doing that, right? So I think that yeah, like it was Rosa, my coach, my upline, who said to me, she's like, I remember her video. I can remember seeing her on her video being like, here's your calendar, write down your work time on your calendar. Like I can physically see that. And it does. It gives you so much more freedom. And that's what we want from this, is the freedom of changing people's lives, but also on our time, right? Like not being at the beck and call of everybody. It's why, like, I do have business hours for when I will get back to messages. Like if somebody writes me at 11 o'clock at night, I don't feel the need to go and write them right away. I will
Yeah, good.
because if my inbox has 20 people in it at 11 o'clock at night, I'm not being fair to myself to sit there and write everybody back, right? Because next thing you know, it's 1 a.m. and I'm like, well, I'm emotionally drained.
Yeah. Can't remember what remember what you wrote the next morning even.
Totally. You're like, what did I say? Was it helpful? I wanted to be helpful. But yeah, so my note that I had wrote down was basically like, do you feel you're being busy or productive, or just that we're passing the time? And even in that, like Courtney, you had mentioned, like you're looking for inspiration from others and stuff. There's a I've said it before, but now I can't remember the proper wording for it, but basically like create before you consume, because if you create your post first, just like you had just said to me, like about how, like you said it so perfectly, like the hardest part is starting, and then you start and it gets easier, and it can be as simple as that with a cute picture, and that post is done, right? Because not everybody knows that. Not everybody knows that the hardest part is starting, like they don't until they do it. So, but if you have that idea in your mind and it's so unique to you and it is your truth, but then you go and scroll through other Beachbody coaches or other people's stuff and you see how maybe their first post went, or how they're wording their posts, or the font or the Lightroom preset they're using, and you're suddenly like, well, my post isn't good enough. All I have to say is this, right? You
can psych yourself out.
You block your unique, amazing message that your people need. And it gets in your way. I'm guilty of it too, because there are so many beautiful, inspiring, amazing women on Instagram that I follow. But I shouldn't be trying to be them. I'm just me. And that's what people want from me, is me. When I am my own super unique, dorky self is when I speak to my people best. Like that's what relates to my people best. More than the best crafted posts I've ever written. And I'm always like, come on, I put a lot of time into that.
and that's true too, because you do compare, or like I feel like it has to be this big, like this awakening post to get people's attention or something, because sometimes that's what I read from other people. But like you said, it doesn't have to be. It can be simple. Like you don't have to sit down for an hour and write every post. Like,
last night, prime example, I hadn't posted. I wasn't feeling particularly inspiring. Like I was feeling really tired yesterday from the refresh and everything. And I'm like, but I have to post. I post every day. So I'm scrolling through, and I was going to just do a post about not wearing any makeup and not having any eyelashes because I don't feel like myself. But when I went into my filter app, it literally put that face mask on me. I'm like, that's hilarious. Like, seriously, this is a filter now? And so I posted, and knowing that if I find it funny, my people will find it funny too, right? Like, and it's timely. It has to do with what we're all facing right now. Like, it just worked, and that post did incredibly well. I didn't put literally any thought into it. It was just sharing. And when you think about what stops you in your scroll, like what posts stop you, that's what's going to stop your people too. I reached out to Sandy because Sandy posts all the time. She posts really consistently, and I don't see her gaining the traction that I feel like she could. And I was trying to help her figure out why that is. Like, I don't see her benefiting from the work she's putting in. And so I wanted to.
Sandy Lind?
Yes.
Barbell. Okay. And that's on Instagram, barbells, and yeah.
Yeah, that's her. And I went and looked at her Instagram, and I'm like, as much as I see Sandy on there, I don't see her talking to a specific person. I see her talking to health and nutrition, fitness. She loves her dogs, but there's, you have to know who you're talking to specifically, because we can't talk to everybody because it just doesn't work. So what that means is sometimes our posts might piss somebody off because they disagree with the stance that we're taking. And that's not a bad thing. It means you're weeding out who you don't want to connect with. That's actually beautiful. Like, you shouldn't have to feel like on your Instagram or your social media that you have to hold back your truths, because that's your page to be whoever you want to be. And if somebody doesn't like you, bye. Right? Like, and learning to be okay with that, as somebody like me who's a self-professed people pleaser and loves to be liked, that's hard. I never want to like hurt somebody's feelings or push the wrong button or whatever. But I did that IGTV today about, because I keep seeing posts about, do you have 5 to 10 friends that need to lose 20 or 30 pounds and love drinking coffee? It's for It Works coffee.
It works. Yeah, it's everywhere.
And I keep seeing it, and it makes me angry. I'm like, because 7 years ago, I would have fallen for it. I would have been like, sell me your coffee. I'm getting skinny. Sweet. Right? So
if only.
Been there, done that, doesn't work.
Right? So I did an Instagram TV saying, like, you can't supplement yourself skinny. Like, it doesn't work. And it doesn't mean that I don't use supplements. I do, but not because they're magic. And I knew that that might upset some people, like, because I have tons of friends that sell It Works, but I'm sorry, I don't support their product. And I wouldn't be being true to myself if I acted like I did. Right? Yeah. So I support what they're trying to do. I love that they're trying to work from home, and but it's a scam. Like, you're robbing people of hard-earned money.
Yeah. Or just selling false hope too.
Yes.
Because I mean, I guess I do worry about that a little bit too, because nobody wants to sell false hope. Or, I mean, like, Beachbody is, I think, really unique in that, like, even as a coach, I know that all the tools to my success are available on the website. All the tools that I need to succeed are in the three behaviors and in you. Like, I know that. I feel like I don't really have an excuse not to succeed at this if I set my mind to it.
Right.
But I also feel like, like I have known people in the past who have done Beachbody and nothing's come of it. They've done it they've had the year of on demand, and, like, they drank the drink or whatever, but, like, they didn't lose any weight or whatever. And that's a fear that I have. Like, in my mind, they didn't do the work, but I think it's that's really hard for people to accept that.
It's 100% true though. Like,
yeah.
Like,
so how do you say that though? Like,
I would say exactly that. I have actually said a post like that before, where it's like, I'm not a flash in the pan coach. Like, when it comes to my coaching success, I've said, like, maybe you've seen tons of friends be like, I'm a Beachbody coach now, look at me. And then 3 months later, they're selling It Works, or 3 months later, they're doing Young Living or whatever it might be. They didn't commit. I committed 7 years ago, which is why I am where I am now. And I say that proudly, right? And that, you haven't been in it 7 years, but that doesn't mean it's not your truth to be able to jump in there and be like, you know what? Either support me or watch me waving from the top when I succeed. Like, that's, you have the choice to do that.
Yeah.
I think I'm talking more edgier because I'm not eating enough. Sorry, I'm like, what's my attitude?
Yeah.
Brad said yesterday, he's like, how many days are you doing this for? I'm like, just one more. Everything's fine. But no, what I mean is, like, obviously there's a way to say that with the right heart. And I said that in my video. I said, like, Beachbody, I said, yes, I drink Shakeology every day. And yes, right now I'm doing a cleanse that is full of supplements too. But I said, it's because I trust the company they come from. I trust the integrity of the company. Also, I got results not by just drinking Shakeology. I got results from working out every single day, changing my diet, changing my headspace, and Shakeology. Like, it was, I literally said, it's a tool in my tool belt for success. That's all. It is not the critical piece, right? And yeah, and I think that that brings up another point with the whole like consuming less of social media. I see a lot of stuff out there that could be discouraging to me, like people putting down network marketing, or people saying if one more person tries to talk to me about their shake or this, like, and then I get like personally offended, like I did it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And I realize I'm like, that's not serving me either. Like following those people that they just 100% don't support what I do. Why am I following them? Like, why do I want that in my face? I don't, right? There's one particular person who she likes Beachbody. She's not against us, but she's very much so against network marketing. And a lot of her posts, she's a holistic nutritionist, and a lot of her posts will be like big exclamation, I am not affiliated with any MLM and blah, blah, blah. And it puts this weird taste in my mouth. Like, I'm sorry, is it such a bad thing? Like,
Yeah.
So I unfollowed her because I realized it wasn't serving me the feelings I was getting every time I was seeing her stuff. But then she's in a giveaway thing with a bunch of people that I'm connected to, and you have to follow all the people to be in the giveaway. And I'm like, I have to follow back now. This is awkward.
I want the free stuff.
But even that, people like that, who was it that was on the National Wake Up Call? I think it was 2 weeks ago, that she wasn't a holistic nutritionist, still is, and loves Beachbody. Like, they don't have to be separate. I'm just acting from this one person's perspective, not, So yeah, it's just a matter of in what we're consuming, social media wise, television wise, whatever, it affects us, and it affects our frame of mind. And it's just like why we don't watch scary movies before bed, like, because it will affect us, right?
Yeah, totally.
I don't watch them anymore at all.
No, me neither. No.
I can't. I used to be able to watch like anything, and now I'm like, I can't watch this. It's making me sad. I can't watching this. I'm angry now.
Like, who wants to get all worked up before bed? Like, yeah, no.
Right? Why? No. So the last little point I had was just to act as if, not as is. And what I mean by that is nobody following you has any idea where you sit in the company of Beachbody. They don't know your success. They don't know how much you earn. They don't know how many Success Club points you have. They know nothing about you other than what you present. So long as you're presenting your best, authentic, real you're serving them properly. You don't need accolades, and you don't need giant checks yet. You know what I mean? Like, that will come. If we do the work, that will come. But so act as if you are that coach already, instead of acting as is, like that you're stuck, or that you've done this forever and it's not going where you want it to be, or whatever. Act as if you are who you want to be, like at the very best of that, who you want to be, right? So, and it's crazy, you guys, when you show up with that energy, when you present yourself that way, because you already are that person, whether that success has come to you yet or not, you are that person. That translates. Like, that's the energy that your people feel from your feed. That's the you that they see, and that's what attracts them to you. Like, that's all social media is 100% about, is attracting people to you, which is fun. That's a fun thing to sell.
Totally. Yeah.
But yeah, that was just my thoughts, because I've been doing a lot of consuming, and I was like, I don't know that this is serving.
No, I can totally see that. Yeah, because I remember, I think you told me that before too. Like, just I added to my Instagram a bunch of top coaches, like
yes,
Lindsay Madaway and
yes,
Emily Falver and stuff. And like, I enjoy watching them and seeing what they post, and seeing like how people respond, and like what kind of like just understanding how they got where they are, and what people see in them, and what works to get followers. But it is very intimidating, because it's like, yeah, it is very intimidating. So I think to not follow those people, and just just because I'm not going to be a Lindsay Madaway, I'm not going to be an Emily Falver, like I'm going to be a Courtney O'Farrell or whatever, So yeah.
Exactly. This is actually from Lindsay Madaway. She gave this to me. It says Shine. She did. I have a few of them. She did an event, my very first summit in Vegas, and it was like before Summit started, and it was like her and Scotty Hobbs and Bonnie Engel I can't remember who was all there, but it was a very small group, and they talked about God a lot, and I was like, oh my goodness, I can talk about Jesus and be a coach. This is the bomb. Like, seriously. Yeah. Lindsay's a beautiful soul. She's an amazing person. And like deserves half of the trainings I've done have been by Lindsay. Like, she's phenomenal. But exactly that. I look at her stuff occasionally now, and same with like Raina Odell, Raina versus Food. I love her. But I don't follow them, because then that's all I'm seeing in my feed. And then I feel this big in comparison. And
yeah.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I don't know why that is. Like, I don't know why we just can't glean inspiration from them, why we always have to be comparing, but it just seems like that's the way we're hardwired, is to compare and then feel inadequate. Like,
yeah. And that's why we do the personal development, right? Because that's where we own who we are, whether we believe it or not yet, and then we aren't comparing. Like, I'm trying to think if I feel like I compare myself still. Maybe sometimes, but for the most part, it's like I look and I applaud their success. I'm grateful for where they are and what they do and how many people's lives they've changed, and it inspires me to want to continue to do the same, right? Like, that's what I now try to take from it. But certainly in the beginning, oh my goodness, I was like, I can't do that. I'm not that person. Like, I want to take a picture of us quick, or I won't have one. Everyone look cute. Courtney's lighting is like perfect. Like, do you see?
It is perfect.
Are you in front of a window?
I am.
I knew it.
I'm more aware of these things now after taking pictures.
I am in front of a window, but this room's green, and green background is just never a good idea. Like, I hate the color of this room.
Oh yeah, green's.
But
sure.
It works. We're gonna run out of time here, but yeah, if you guys ever have any questions or like need one-on-one or whatever, just call me. We can chat. We certainly have the time to do so.
Yeah. What's your next recommendation for like an audiobook? Because what I really liked about the 5-second rule was that I totally can talk myself out of making dinner. Like, I can talk myself out of everything with doubt. And so that, and I actually found that last night I was having anxiety, like about a lot of things to be anxious about right now. And I talked myself out of that with a 5-second rule too. I started with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it took me, because anxiety starts small and then it builds and it builds and it builds, and before you know it, you're like living on the street or something.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 myself out of that. Like, that's amazing. But so that's kind of what I need. Yeah, I don't know what. I know I have the book You Are a Badass, and I started with that. I can continue with that unless there's something you feel like might be better.
I'm trying to think. I've got so many that I'm like, which would be the best right now?
Yeah, and I know Mel recommended The Alchemist too. She said that she reads that every year. I don't know.
I know. The Slight Edge.
The Slight Edge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is a great one. It's actually the one that Melanie Mitchell bases her entire Beachbody success on, is having started with The Slight Edge. So.
Okay, that's what I need right now then. Yeah.
Yes. It's I think you can even find it, like, I think it's online. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, beauties. Thank you for being on. I appreciate it. It's always good to see you.
Can't wait till we can meet in person again.
I know. It'll be so good.
That will be nice.
Okay, praying for you girls. Have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, Karina. Bye. Bye, Kelsey.
See ya.